ladies and gentlemen. This is Greg Bryant from Demonosophy and Beyond. I got a book that was recommended to me by a subscriber. I assume they're subscribed. I don't know. They left a message on my my comment feed. Anyway, so this is basically my initial thoughts on the book. And this is called The Violet Throne. Okay. This is about the legacy of the Aset Ka, the Order of Aset Ka. It's an Asetian belief system, magical system. And I believe it's like 3 books in one. And for those of you who don't know who Aset is, I looked it up. It's ISIS. I'm not very knowledgeable about ISIS, so I'm going into this kind of new. And the only Egyptian gods that I am familiar with, for the most part, are Thoth, definitely Thoth, and I've had some dealings with Set, and a brief dealing with Horus. Anyway, I bought this on Amazon actually, and it's priced for $77. So with shipping and handling, I got it for like 80 something in America. And so the book came, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's like spots here, has some crud on it, but I don't attribute that to the publisher. I really think that the book is very nice. Like, you've got this little symbolic piece right here. Comes in a nice hardback, and I like the fact that it has pages full of information. And I haven't gone through the information, but I like fat books because it gives you a lot to work with, and it'll keep you busy for a long time. And I like to stay busy. Another thing, I've read some of it. An interesting thing is, if you actually go on the website for the Aset Ka, they actually will give you an introduction to the book that you can read. The whole introduction, in fact. And that was pretty cool, because while I was waiting for it to come in, I was able to actually read the book, and I felt like they were open enough to where they're not trying to just sell you a book that's passed as a grimoire of secret knowledge from a secret society, but they were actually giving you a glimpse into what was about to, what you were about to learn from the book. And it whet my appetite for that. So I thought that was good. It also takes you straight to where they sell the book. Like, if you say that you're in the United States, then it'll take you to Amazon in the US, where you can buy the book. If in Europe, it'll take you to a place where you can buy the book in Europe. I think the Aset Ka, the group that deal with the Asetian magic, I think they're like in Portugal or something. I don't know. I can't remember. I think it's Portugal. So let's talk about the contents of the book. In the contents, in the introduction and stuff, it talks about how the words that are presented, some of them are going to be symbolic, some of them are going to be misleading, because this group only wants people who are genuine and who are dedicated to get the magic. And so I imagine that in some places it's going to be very wordy, probably confusing, but I always like the fact that, I like the books where they say, okay, like the knowledge is there, but it's hidden, because a lot of people, they will actually like put down a book because they're like, oh, there's nothing here. Oh, like, it was a whole bunch of fluff and stuff like that. And yeah, you have fluff in some books, but like they're saying, look, like you have to dig deep. And a lot of practitioners these days are used to having everything handed to them. And it's not a good thing. So it forces somebody who is actually interested in the system to do some research, dig deep, practice. And it says that you won't get everything out of the first read from this book. So it's basically telling you, hey, if you go through it again, you're going to have a whole different perspective. It also says that if you work through it, you're going to learn more and start to understand more. And that the system is not for somebody who is a hobby magician. So I really appreciated that. It also talked about how the system is can be seen as dark and predatory, but knowing predatory magic does not necessarily make you evil. And it talks about how mature people use magic in a way where, it's not overly destructive. They're balanced with what they do with the knowledge. As for speaking about knowledge, this book also assumes that the reader has some experience in magic. Because when they talk about energy feeding techniques, they basically say, we're not here to teach you the basics of energy feeding. We're here to teach you different different ways to like use to take your techniques to the next level, according to the Ascetian way. Ascetian, I don't know, tomato. And I appreciated that because it's basically forcing people who may have bought the book because of, what is promised inside of it, to go looking for these foundational steps, these foundational practices. So it's like, yeah, like if you want to know the basics of feeding, like go somewhere else and then come back when you're ready to like add on to that. And so, yeah, it makes the practitioner, the person reading, have to dig deeper, have to do more research. And what a lot of people don't understand is a true magician, a true practitioner, somebody who really wants their magic to work, somebody who really wants their intent to be intense, somebody who wants to make a change in this reality. It's not just about lighting a candle. It's not just about saying some words that you found in a book in Barnes and Noble. Like, you have to put effort into it. You have to put sweat, blood, and tears into it. And this book does emphasize that. And I can appreciate that. Was there anything else I had to say? I'm like, how many pages in? Like, I think 80 pages. I'm 80 pages in. But another thing that this book talked about is how you need to take time going through this. You can't just breeze through it and expect to be able to work through it like that. It tells you to read through it slowly. It tells you to digest the information that is presented. And some things, like, it'll show symbols and say, hey, you need to meditate on these symbols and get a better understanding, a deeper understanding of these symbols. Another thing that it also talks about is how there are many ways that words can be taken. And the way they're taken and applied may be different. Because it talks about how this book is available for the public. Now, somebody who isn't destined for the deeper knowledge, they're going to read it, and because it's in English words, they're going to understand it to some degree. And to some degree, they can apply it. But it's only going to go so far for them. But somebody who understands the deeper meaning of the words that are presented, the symbols that are presented, they're going to do something entirely different with the magic and how they apply the information that is presented. And that kind of reminded me of like the Bible, where there is a way the Bible is presented to lay people, but there are deeper meanings to the stories and the words and the way things are presented in the Bible that the average Joe just isn't going to get. And it does a lot of this book, I feel, brings back a lot of the old ways where it's just like, yeah, you have to be on point mentally and with your magic, and you have to be dedicated. And I can really, I dig it. I dig it. So I haven't started to practice any of the magic. I can't tell you whether it works or not. I can tell you that I do plan on working through the book. I do want to get to know Isis and see what she is about. She never really struck me as the kind of goddess that you would base a vampiric system on, because that's what it is. It's a predatory vampiric system. Because like when I would read about Egyptian lore and Isis, she never really seemed like that. But in the same breath, I will admit that the gods are multifaceted and that their energies and what information they bring, they have multiple applications. And a lot of magic is just, the way you use it is determined by your point of view. So, hopefully when I start working the magic, and if I do get results, I can accumulate those results and report on that, and I guess give the person who recommended the book to me the yay or nay, whether it's worth going through. Anyway, that's it. I just want to make sure. Well, I just want to say, like, I hope everybody is chilling, working the magic, warping reality for good. And I'll talk to you guys later. And don't forget, don't take my word for everything. Do your own experimentation. Make your own magic. Okay? Peace.